Hi, good morning, and wherever you're watching me from. This morning, like I spoke earlier in my last video, I talked about the issue of sports contract. Those who are eligible to sign sports contract, what sports contract about, the clauses involved in sports contract. Now, today I will be telling you a little bit about uh, why a contract should be signed. What most people know that contracts are signed because they want the other party to follow the contractual terms and conditions through and through. However, I also want to let you know that in sports law, there are people who are eligible to sign a contract. First of all, in sports, we have the amateur sports and the professional sports. Now, in amateur sports, you find out that those who are participating in amateur sports are those who are doing it voluntarily, that's to say, for the love of it, because they love the sports, that's why they are into amateur sports. But when you talk about professional sports, it means you're doing the sports to sell your talents and skills. That is all about what the professional sports is all about. You're selling your skills, you're selling your talents, and the company that is buying, that is to say, the other party, who is the employer, is also buying those, paying for those skills and talents that you have. And there are things that needs to be in the contract that to protect that your skill and also to protect the other side of the employer. Now the employer employs you via the contract after signing. Okay, then when you are a professional athlete, you are expected to be up and doing at all times, and that is one of the reasons why there's always a contract most times for athletes. Now, athletes are involved in this because they want to make name, not only just try to be popular, they also want to be known all over the world. They also want to be world champions in their different categories of sports. But in amateur sports, there's a big difference. For instance, if you are into amateur sports, you are training, you are preparing seriously to represent a club, represent the state, represent the country. You want to bring glory to that state. You want to bring glory to that country. You also want to bring glory to that sports in your country. By so doing, you are encouraging those who are not involved in sports to take part and participate in it. But in professional sports, fine. There's always a way you need to make more money. These are why you have contract. Now, most times these things are called differently. Now, those of you who are into amateur sports, your contract is this: you are employed by a state, you are employed by a club, you participate for those club, you win and make name for the clubs. Okay. Then, for those who are participating who are into professional sports, they sign a contract, a professional contract, a contract for personal service. That is what it's called. Most times, personal service contract. You are giving your personal service to the company, or to the promoter, or to the manager, or as the case may be, whoever may be involved in it. Now, there are different leg, or like most people will always say, there are different aspects of contract, and we'll look at it at the next video. We'll also look at the issue of why are contract breached by athletes, whether they are employed by the states, whether they are employed by the clubs, whether they are employed by. And for instance, if I tell you most times, like in football, we find out that football have a very most times they have comprehensive contract, like in boxing also. They have very comprehensive contract because these are sports that are very popular, and they have a long way. They have things to achieve in a row. You don't sign a boxer and you expect him to sit down. If he loses a fight, what happens to your money? What happens to your investment in him? Because investment is all about the returns that you're looking at. Okay, so when we talk about contract, we are generally going to Look at it from every aspect. The amateur level is not for payment, as in it's not a contract per se, but you can be contacted by a state. For instance, in Nigeria, what they do is some states contact athletes and they put them under contract. Now, that contract, ordinarily, if you look at it, it doesn't have the real flavor of a professional. They'll tell you they're hiring you for a very short period of time. After that period is achieved, they send you away. Okay, the contract is extinguished. But if you look at it from the real angle of it, most times it takes maybe 1, 2, 3 years to sign a contract, except there's a breach. That is where the contract becomes extinguished. And we'll look at the rights of all of athletes when it comes to the issue of contract, not at the amateur level this time. We'll be looking at it from the professional level of contract. Professional level of contract, you look there are terms and conditions that are to be met by the professional, and there are also terms and conditions that are to be met by the other party, the man who is calling the shots. So for now, I would like to explain further at the next video. We'll tell you the contracts that are supposed to be signed by you. We'll tell you, let us know if you have a contract. You drop it on the comment section. If you have signed a contract before, when we talk about, for instance, signing a contract when you are underage, when you are influenced, when you are intimidated, when you are coerced into signing a contract. These are all grounds for which a contract can be nullified. So we're talking about eligibility. You see somebody who is 16, 17 years of age signing a contract. Under the law, no matter where you are now, right away, it is wrong for somebody under the age of majority, like my Cameroonian friend was saying, for somebody under the age of majority to sign a contract. So you look at it from that angle, or look at it from the angle of the terms, what terms and conditions, what are the terms that can be executed by the athletes. You don't give an athlete conditions that he cannot meet. For instance, my office had a privilege of working for a boxer some time back, and he was put up for six fights in a year. Of course, most times the fights can be these things are very very attainable, but we looked at it and said, okay, we asked and we discussed. At the end of the day, we came together with the other party and said, no, we came to a compromise and agreed that the boxer should have 4 fights. These are the things you negotiate. In football also, we had where a player told us, I'm going to play just for one season. And we looked at it. If it's going to help us, we also look at it and give the necessary advice. So these are the things we look at. As for the signing of contract, before you sign a contract, please, like I always tell sportsmen, do it to consult widely because that is your future. That is your meal ticket. You have to do that because if you don't, it's going to tell very bad. And ordinarily, as a sportsman, you are not supposed to sign a contract when you don't know the content of that contract. For instance, most sportsmen do use lawyers because they know what the lawyer can that the lawyer can explain deeply to them. And also, you find out that if you know you're not literate enough to understand the terms and conditions written in the contract, you consult those who know it so that they can get involved in that contract and advise accordingly. If you don't do that, you'll be jeopardizing your future, you'll be jeopardizing the contract itself. For instance, okay, I'll give you an example now. If a contract is written in a language that you don't understand, do you go ahead to sign it? Most times people do. And when the contract is not interpreted in a language that you understand, they do. They just do it and say, okay, for the purpose of making money, I just need it. I need to make money. I need to live a life of my own, and these are the things. But do you know it's better for you to consult before signing those things. So that will be all for today. Uh, for the next video will come up, I would like to get your response. Your response will prompt my reaction. I would like to get your response. If you have a contract, let me know. You can send it here. Ask the questions. Questions we will give you the best answers. We'll try as much as possible to give you very good answers regarding the contract, especially for those of us who are in Africa. I also want to say that sports contract is not a thing of play. You see it in most part of the developed world where before you kickstart any game for a particular club, you see boys and girls get involved with signing of contract. So there is more to the contract than meets the eye. Please do wait to share this video, recommend it to your friends, drop your questions, and I will answer them even on the platform. Or I'll make if you want me to discuss on any topic, please do well to let us know. Don't think we will not be going as fast or what have been disturbing you. All right, we'll tell you why a contract is breached, what are the remedies for breaching of the contract, what you are supposed to do, and all that. Thank you, and have a great day.